his objective to ensure the nation achieves a sustainable production of 2 million barrels of crude oil per day, including condensate within the first quarter of 2024. Away from the State House, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has appointed Commandant Ahmed Abiodunrin as the new head of the National Safe Schools Response Coordination Center and SSRCC. Commandant General of the agency, Ahmed Audi, made the appointments replacing the former commander of the center, Tasu Shapa, who has been redeployed. In a statement by the Public Relations Officer (PRO) of the Corps, Babawale Afolabi stated that Abiodunrin is a trained and accomplished journalist before he joined the NSCDC as a volunteer in 1997 and rose through the ranks. In the meantime, federal civil servants confirmed the receipt of their October 2023 wage awards, months after a temporary suspension of payment. Recall that the payment of 35,000 Naira wage award was an agreement reached between the federal government and the organized labor as part of the moves to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol. President Bola Tinubu had declared during his Independence Day speech that low-grade workers in the federal civil service would be awarded a wage of 25,000 Naira. The amount was then increased to 35,000 Naira following discussions with the organized labor unions. In other stories, some academic and non-academic staff members of the Kaduna State University have decried the non-payment of their salaries. The workers said they had yet to receive any salaries since they were employed 3 years ago, as they were excluded from the state's payroll. According to them, this was mainly because of the university's inability to be financially autonomous following the integration of the university under the office of the state's head of service during the administration of a former governor of the state, Nasir El-Rufai. Some of the employees stated that they had also been denied access to the state health insurance scheme, as newly employed workers could not be enrolled in the scheme without their printed monthly pay slips. A consortium of Nigerian financial institutions, fintech, and blockchain experts, the African Stablecoin Consortium, is set to launch a compliant Nigerian Naira stablecoin on February 27, 2024. The consortium, in a statement issued on Friday, said the launch of the CNGN is hinged on the new regulatory standards released by the Central Bank of Nigeria. According to the consortium, the CNGN stablecoin would revolutionize financial transactions. Through the project, the consortium said it is committed to enhancing secure and compliant financial interactions, revolutionizing the way people transact and engage with their money securely and seamlessly. The chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission is leading the partnership with the National Information Technology Development Agency to combat corruption and illicit financial flows with the use of technology. The ICPC chairman, Musa Aliyu, led a crucial meeting with the leadership of NITDA, emphasizing the inclusion and integration of innovative technology in the fight against corruption and mapping areas of deployment of such technologies. The meeting also entailed discussions on forming a joint committee, symbolizing an ongoing collaboration between ICPC and NITDA, which underscores the commitment to digital transformation as a constant process crucial for a proactive approach in the fight against corruption in the country. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission in Lagos State said it has published the Surulere Federal Constituency by-election notice as required by law. The INEC Public Affairs Officer in the state, Adenike Oviowo, on Friday said the notice was posted at the Commission's headquarters in Sabuyaba for public viewing. She revealed further that INEC had commenced the implementation of activities and timetable for the elections, adding that the preparations were on top gear to ensure strict adherence to relevant laws and guidelines for the poll. She, however, assured all that the Commission will not fail to deliver a credible by-election in the constituency. The immediate past Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, has officially written to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission seeking an extension of the deadline to meet with the Commission's interrogators over an ongoing probe into the 37.1 billion naira allegedly laundered during her tenure in office through a contractor, James Okwete. Umar Farouk, in her letter, cited health challenges as a reason for her plea. It was reported that the ex-minister risked arrest after failing to appear before the interrogators at the EFCC headquarters on Wednesday. Reacting to the development, the spokesperson for the EFCC, Dele Oyewale, said Umar Farouk had sent a legal representative to the Commission and waiting to be given more time to honor the invitation while citing health challenges. No fewer than 9 Ogun communities are currently experiencing power outage due to the drop in power generation from the Igbin power station. The Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company announced that on its social media handles late on Thursday night. According to the IBEDC Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital is one of the areas affected by the Igbin power generation drop. The distribution company said its technical team was working with relevant stakeholders to ensure the restoration of the power supply, even as it apologized for the inconveniences. Away from Ogun State, Swift Ship, a military manufacturing company based in the United States of America, has donated 2 high-tech unnamed water vessels to the Nigerian government. The equipment is S2 and S3 Swift Sea Stalkers. The company donated during a recent visit by the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawali. And according to a statement on Friday by the ministry's Director of Press, Henshaw Ogubinke, the minister had gone to the USA to inspect the facilities of high-tech military producing hardware companies in the country. Presenting the unnamed vessels to President Bola Tinubu, the minister noted that the equipment would help to protect the maritime environment of the country as well as other areas. He stated that the equipment would be deployed to the Niger Delta, Lake Chad region and other maritime regions of the country. You're watching News Cycle live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the news cycle returns, federal government begins payment of October 2023 wage award. The news continues shortly with details of these and more stories right after this break. Please stay with us. If you're just joining us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of the news cycle. Thank you for staying with us. And now on the foreign scene, no fewer than 1,110 people have been reported dead 5 days after a huge earthquake struck central Japan. Rescuers and residents sifted through rubble on Saturday as the focus turned to recovering bodies and cleaning up rather than finding survivors. The death toll from the New Year's Day's 7.5 magnitude earthquake in the Ishikawa region of Japan's main Honshu Island was certain to rise, with 210 people still unaccounted for, authorities have said. The work of thousands of rescue workers has been hampered by bad weather. Snow was forecast for Sunday and roads were torn apart by gaping cracks and blocked by an estimated 1,000 landslides. And meanwhile, the U.S. Supreme Court has said it will hear a historic case to determine if Donald Trump can run for president. The justices agreed to take up Trump's appeal against a decision by Colorado to remove him from the 2024 ballot in that state. The case will be heard in February, and the ruling will apply nationwide. Lawsuits in a number of states are seeking to disqualify Trump, arguing that he engaged in insurrection during the U.S. Capitol riot 3 years ago. The legal challenges hinge on whether a Civil War-era constitutional amendment renders Trump ineligible to stand as a candidate. The Supreme Court's decision to hear Trump's appeal came after attorney generals from 27 states filed a brief asking the court to reject Colorado's ruling. Away from the U.S., the site of one of the most important monuments in classical antiquity, the palace where Alexander the Great was crowned king, has reopened after a 16-year restoration. The Palace of Angai near Greece's northern port city of Thessaloniki was built more than 2,300 years ago. It was later destroyed by the Romans and unearthed through excavations beginning in the 19th century. Its renovation cost more than €20 million with help from the EU. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, who attended the ceremony for the site's reopening on Friday, described it as a monument of global importance. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is back to the Middle East on his fourth trip since the Israel-Hamas war began, expecting tough talks as he presses for immediate new aid for battered Gaza and regional de-escalation. The State Department says the top American diplomats will visit both Israel and the West Bank, home of the Palestinian Authority, and 5 Arab countries that include Egypt, Jordan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Blinken departed late Thursday, bound first for Turkey, an uneasy U.S. ally that is the home of key Hamas leaders, despite being one of the few Muslim-majority countries to recognize Israel, followed by Greece. He will discuss immediate measures to increase substantially humanitarian assistance to Gaza, where the World Health Organization has warned of the risk of famine and diseases. Meanwhile, a teenager armed with a handgun and shotgun killed a fellow student and wounded 5 other people at a high school in the Midwestern U.S. state of Iowa on Thursday. Authorities had said the shooting at around 7:30 a.m. triggered a major police response as emergency vehicles and armed units rushed to Perry High School, where classes had not yet started for the day.
All of our condolences to the victims and their families. They need your thoughts and prayers, as well as time and space to process and to grieve.
The victim who died was in 6th grade, meaning aged 11 or 12, and was likely in the high school for a breakfast program, said Mitch Motrich, Assistant Director of the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigations.
Our hearts are heavy today, and our prayers are with the Perry community. This strikes at the heart of everything that we hold dear. This senseless tragedy has shaken our entire state to the core, and I want this community to know that every Iowan stands with you.
The UN's World Economic Situation and Prospects WESP report for 2024 projects slowed down in global growth from an estimated 2.7% in 2023 to 2.4% in 2024. The flagship forecast launched in New York indicates that 2023 stronger than expected GDP growth coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic marks short-term risks and structural vulnerabilities in the world economy. The somber short-term outlook is based on persistently high interest rates, further escalation of conflict, sluggish international trade, and increasing climate disasters, which all pose significant challenges to global growth. It points to a prolonged period of tighter credit conditions and higher borrowing costs, presenting strong headwinds for a world economic saddled with debt and in need of more investments to resuscitate growth, fight climate change, and accelerate progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. And now in business, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has received the fifth crude oil shipment of 1 million barrels of Bonny Light supplied by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPC. The company is already preparing to welcome the sixth 1 million crude oil cargo to the refinery by next week. This latest development is a significant step for the refinery as it is preparing to begin operations. The crude oil cargo being the fifth consignment to be delivered to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery facility out of the 6 million barrels of crude oil being expected, arrived at the single-point mooring SPMC2 Dangote Offshore Oil Terminal and has already been discharged to the refinery's crude oil tanks. Still on business, Naira further gained against the dollar at the official market, making the second gain in the new year. The domestic currency appreciated 3% to close at 869.13 Naira to a dollar at the close of business. Data from the NAFEM, where Forex is officially traded, showed. This represents a 26.1 Naira gain, that is 3% increase in the local currency compared to the 895.23 Naira closed the previous day. However, the Naira dropped at the parallel Forex market, where Forex is sold unofficially. The exchange rate quoted at 1,255 Naira per dollar, representing a 1.99% decline over what it closed the previous day, while peer-to-peer traders quoted around 1,231.70 Naira per dollar. The dollar dearth means speculative buying is likely to continue, with an increasing number of market participants taking long positions on the dollar while shorting the Naira. And still on business, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, carried out a scrutiny of Dangote Group's financial records as part of an investigation into potential misappropriation of foreign currency obtained from the central bank. During the tenure of the former Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, the bank employed various exchange rates and provided dollars at lower rates to certain businesses, including Dangote, facilitating their importation of raw materials. There was no immediate response from a Dangote spokesperson for requests for comments. The NNPCL has stated that a test run on the 60,000 barrel per day BDP refinery in Port Harcourt will be completed this month ahead of the full resumption of work later. The spokesperson for the NNPCL, Femi Sonere, made this known in a statement. According to him, testing will conclude shortly, ensuring the refinery's efficient operation, and the phase will be completed this month. Adding that the refinery, currently undergoing repair works, is set to commence operations at an initial processing rate of 60,000 barrels per day. However, the CEO of the NNPCL stated that the second phase of repair works of the Port Harcourt refinery will be completed by the fourth quarter of 2024, while anticipating to achieve its maximum capacity of 210,000 barrels per day later in the year. And that's it on the news cycle on Global TV, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Chidima Jawesin, thanking you so very much for watching. I'll see you soon.